This video does not endorse, promote, or glorify any form of illegal or harmful activity. Hey guys, young Psychonaut here and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite, non-favorite substances, benzodiazepines. As you might know, I've had a long history with benzodiazepines. I've been very addicted to them and I have been off of them for more than 4 years now. So yeah, I have something to say about benzodiazepines. And that something today is about blacking out, getting unconscious, etc. on benzodiazepines. This is like something very, very common that happens to almost all bartards and benzo users. Blacking out. And what is blacking out? Blacking out is basically meaning that your memory is just totally fucked. Basically just you're doing a bunch of shit, maybe you're chilling with friends, maybe you have a whole night to yourself and you remember absolutely nothing from it. And everybody around you is just chilling with you, you're just like doing things as if you're there, but you remember absolutely nothing. Not even from like a few minutes ago. So it's like a total state of like not remembering anything. And also, which some people call blacking out, but that's also, I guess, different, but also very common on benzodiazepines, is getting unconscious from them. So what are kind of the mechanisms behind this? So the main mechanism through which benzodiazepines do this is GABA regulation. And basically GABA is a inhibitory neuroregulator, which means that it will decrease brain activity. So what benzodiazepines do basically is they decrease brain activity through GABA until the point where, for example, your hippocampus, where memories are stored and regulated, there's not enough activation anymore for a memory to form. And later, if you take more and more benzodiazepines, at a certain point there will not be enough activity in the whole brain to keep you in an awake state, and you will basically go into a hypnotic state. This is also very different from sleep, by the way, because sleep is actually a very active state, believe it or not. It's actually a state in which your brain is doing a lot of different things, cleaning up from the day before, etc., etc. A hypnotic state is absolutely not that. A hypnotic state is really like your body and your brain kind of shutting down. It's basically you stop the activity until only your basic functions of like breathing, etc. still work, but you're not conscious anymore. And so a hypnotic state is also not a restorative state at all. Even though it may feel that way after a benzo nap, it is not like normal sleep where your body is restoring things or like etc., etc. So yeah, keep that in mind. Also keep that in mind for people who take benzodiazepines as a sleeping aid. You're not actually helping yourself sleep. You're just basically knocking yourself unconscious, but not actually getting good sleep. Anyways, let's get back on topic. Yeah, my experience with blacking out on benzos is many. So the first time I ever blacked out on benzos was actually my first bar tart binge week. I've also made a video about it, which I will link now. But basically, the first time I got my hands on a real like full package of K-pins, I took them in a party setting, and then the next day I was kind of feeling a little hungover, so I took another one, and then I was on 6 K-pins a day, just basically lying on the floor, blacking out, taking a K-pin when I woke up, then going back into the hypnotic state basically. And this basically was a week long, and honestly I can only remember like few seconds from that week. That's how strongly it already was like affecting my memory and etc., etc. So that first week I was already extremely fucked from it, extremely like often blacking out. And after that week I said to myself, don't do benzos again, bro, don't do it, it's so terrible, and like you don't even remember anything, etc. And then basically I went ahead and took benzos for 1.5 years. So I would say the addiction potential is so insane, even though you're having a negative experience on it. Like my first experiences with benzos were not even that great. I still gravitated towards it so much because of the addiction potential that even though I had that first week and I fucking hated it, I still kept doing it after that. So very interesting. Then actually, like a few months later, I actually found out about Itizalam, which if you guys don't know, Itizalam is a designer drug. It's a alprazolam analog, a Xanax analog, and it was back then, it was still legal in the Netherlands. It's not anymore, luckily, because it was very cheap. It was very euphoric, and it was very, very strong. That I remember, because I ordered Itizalam the first time a few months after my first Bar Tart episode, and back then, I remember they had it also on tabs, not only in pills but tabs, like acid tab basically. But so I did a 2 milligram tab, which should be about the same strength as a 2 milligram like a Xanax, and I put it in a drink, like I dissolved the tab in a drink, and from that moment on, I remember absolutely nothing for the next 24 hours. Like I was just chilling with my boyfriend. I took the 2 milligram, put it in my drink, started drinking it, and I basically woke up 24 hours later. And basically what I had done was I had done the Itizalam in my drink. I drank it. Then I just became totally incoherent. I started inviting people over. So I invited my best friend over. We had a whole night of like chilling and everything. I remember absolutely nothing from that shit. Like, he even showed me snaps of me like pouring up more Itizalam drink and like making more. And like when I woke up in the morning, basically all my Itizalam was gone. So I probably had done it all that night, or like, yeah, it was so fucking fiendish. And because you're blacked out, you don't really remember what you did. So it could be something really terrible. I'm so glad that I was not nefarious while I was doing benzos. Like I could have really ended up in jail or like wherever. Like this would have been very bad for me if I wasn't just like chilling on the couch the whole night. So yeah, that was like basically my second time that I really had a big blackout, and from then on it was basically full stop blacking out every few days on Itizalam mostly. I mean, it was very euphoric, but it was very strong and also had very strong like memory component to it. So then the next time where we had a really crazy episode of blacking out was what we call Fear and Loathing, in reference to the movie, where also I probably want to make a full video about this thing. So yeah, let me know if you guys think this is interesting. I'll probably make a lore video about this. But yeah, anyways, we call it Fear and Loathing, and the whole thing was that Juice WRLD had just died. We all took a bunch of benzos. We were all sad boy vibes, etc. And then at a certain point, somebody thought of like, let's combine this with some MDMA. And as you guys may know, I've said this so many times, but benzodiazepines and MDMA is the worst combination ever. It will send you into delirium extremely fast. But in this case, it also caused a total blackout for us. So we were delirious, we were blacking out. I have very, very faint memories from a few snippets from this night, but basically we trashed the whole house. It was like a full Fear and Loathing like scene going on. Like I woke up in the morning, I remembered nothing, just seeing the whole house trashed around me, and it was fucking terrible. I have no idea what we did exactly, where we went. I remember we went outside also, so I have no idea what we did there. But yeah, it's really bad. Also, I would say in general, in that year, I had a lot of moments where I don't really remember what happened. Even when I had a fun time with benzos, I don't really remember what happened. So is it really worth it to do something if you're like, you can't even remember anything from it? It's kind of sad actually. So I would say in general, I don't really remember much of the year. It was very, very bad for my memory in general, I would say. Maybe it even has made my memory like permanently worse. I could see that, honestly. Like, yeah, I'm not saying like my memory is bad or anything, but I would say it was probably better before my whole benzo episode. So I think there's also some evidence, but don't quote me on this, that it does have a long-term negative effect on your memory, especially when you consider that I've taken hundreds, if not thousands, of benzodiazepines over that time. So yeah, it was probably not good for me. And yeah, about like those are kind of the moments of blacking out on benzos for me. But I've had many, many, many more moments where I just went unconscious on benzos, where like all my friends were just sitting around me and just basically close your eyes and you're not there anymore for a few hours. It's actually really sad. Like, why would you want to hang out with people and do drugs if you're not even gonna be there to experience it? But it was just because I had crazy anxiety and really, really bad mental health. And for me, that was kind of the only way to quiet down my brain. But sometimes it got a little too quiet, I would say. So yeah, benzos, not very good. Probably gonna leave you in a state of very, like, it's probably gonna leave you in a very bad state. So I would advise you not to do them, especially recreationally. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.